step 6. That's to one side, and now what we need is these parts here. Now I'm just looking to see if there's any numbers on here. I'm not sure there is. I've got all these parts, and I think it's going to be the biggest pieces we need. No numbers on the back, so I have to look at the instructions and see exactly which ones we need. But where we're putting them, guys, if you look, you can see there there's like indents where they're going, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find the right one. I'll tell you what, if we're going to put 2 in, let's have a look, a little play around and see which ones we need. I think it's going to be, it's not that one. I think that's going to be one. Yeah, it's going to go in there. And then we'll have the small one, middle piece, what's going to go around the centre of his head. Basically, it's called the central band. Now here you've got pins, little 4 pins here. So you obviously want to do the one side and the centre there. So these will only go on those centre holes. That makes sense. So push that there like that. I'll put the other one next to it to the side. There we go, nice and tight. And I might just peel the sticky back off. And I don't know if you can see on camera, there's basically like outline where these pieces go, so it's pretty cool and self-explanatory where they really go. Hey all, welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're all doing good, guys. Hope you're all well. Are you all up for some more Darth Vader from Fanhome? Issue 2. Yes, back on the channel, guys. This is the pack. Look at that. Loads of goodies this week. Guys, if you're not already, remember to subscribe, like, also comment, share. You'll always be notified every time I put a video up on the channel. But without further ado, guys, let's crack on with Star Wars Darth Vader from Fanhome. Okay then, guys, so here's the parts. Let's go straight in and have a look at this week's mag of issue 2. There is Darth Vader in his prime. Can't wait to get cracking with this build, guys, and get some consistency with it. And it will be coming, guys, trust me. I'm going to do my best to post more for you guys. Right, so in this week's issue, we'll do more of the helmet, part 2. You can see all the parts here. There's a lot going on this week. And there's about 7 steps. Yeah, and that's what we're going to end up with the final result. That's how it's going to be looking. So, without further ado, guys, let's get building. To start off, we've got the left side of the helmet. Just being careful not to scratch the outer side of it. And we've got this middle piece, what's going to go around the centre of his head. Basically, it's called the central band. Now here you've got pins, little 4 pins here. So you obviously want to do the one side, and they're going to be slotting in to those holes there. So what you want to do is just carefully just line them up, and they should just slot into place. And then that bit there should have one little pin going through there. This is where we're going to be applying 2 screws, and they are B screws, they're called. So just make sure it's all lined up where it's got to be. This is like a little slot here, so what we might do is take that off and then push that into that slot, like so. As easy as that. And then line those pins up, as I say, around the helmet. This should all, just be careful not to break your pins out, guys. There you go, that's it. And that's how that's looking so far. Now all we've got to do is apply the 2 screws, B screws. So if I line those up with the little screwdriver was given. I say little screwdriver, this is a pretty big screwdriver, so I'm going to use one of my own, to be fair. There you go, better using that. And then we'll just apply those 2 B screws to connect that central band. Always be mindful not to scratch your helmet while you're putting it on the desk. I have got a microfiber cloth in the drawer next to me, but I'm just being careful not to scratch it and choosing not to use it at this present time. Right, so screw these B screws in, and then that'll take us all the way to step 2. They will go in nice and tight, guys. Just be careful though, because you're going into plastic and you don't want to wreck the thread. So yeah, that's those 2 screws in. That's how it's looking from the inside. Pretty cool. It's on the outside. Oh, it's taking place, guys. I can't wait to get the face done as well. This is pretty cool. Love this. So I'm going to put this to one side and we'll move on to step 2. Now for step 2, we have got to fit the cylinder elements. So first of all, I've got to take that piece, what we've got here, and what we want to do is get the black cylinder. So that's this piece here, guys. Now what you can do also is apply a little bit of glue to these just to make sure they're not going to fall off the piece when you've put it on. So I'm going to apply just a tiny bit of glue, because you don't want Darth Vader's parts and everything, like elements, wherever they are, coming off there. Right, you've got all these holes here, but it's not as complicated as it looks. Basically, these are a bigger gap to the centre there, so these will only go on those centre holes. If that makes sense. So push that in there like that. So what I'm trying to say is the gap between the pins would not fit that, because that's a bigger gap the holes are. What you want to do is apply that black cylinder, and just here you've got like a little line there. You'll know if you've got rocks, that's got to be pointing upwards like so. So what we've got to do then is take the red cylinder, which is this piece here. Again, apply a bit of glue, guys, just so you know it's secure to the other part. Like so. Let's just turn that round, and then this is going to be going into this part here, these 2 holes here. Yeah, you can hear them clicking in, so you probably could get away with not putting any glue on, but I'm just doing that just to be a bit OCD, I think, and be secure, certain that they're not going to fall off. Now what we're going to do is apply this piece here. There's 3 pins here. What we're going to do is those 3 holes, apply them into those 3 holes just there. So a bit more glue. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to just pop those pins into those 3 holes there, which really, that is a pretty tight fit. I wouldn't have thought they would come off, but hey, it's making me happy by gluing them. So that's how we're looking so far. And then what we're going to do now is take these 2 little pieces, and I'm just looking which way we've got to put these. Yeah, basically you want to put them that way around. Just put a little bit of glue on those pins. Yeah, I think I've got another build coming to the channel. The recentest one was the Ducati. But yeah, I've got another one coming, guys. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I've got a few in mind. I'm just trying to choose what to do. But you may be saying, how come I'm doing all these new builds? It's basically, guys, Dom's charge is paid for now. I've got all the parts just sitting here. So when I finish paying for a build, you got it, I might as well just buy another build. But it's obviously keeping me busy as well, that's the thing. I mean, if I buy another one now, or subscribe to another one, I'm going to have 7 builds on the go, which is astonishing, amazing, can't believe that. But anyway, I'd say that's looking so far then, guys, looking pretty cool. I'd say you should be looking at the end of step 2, so let's crack on and move on to step 3. Okay, for step 3, what we're going to do now is apply these 2 pieces to the respirator. So you've got 2 little pins there, guys. What you need to do is, as you're looking at your piece, if it's that way, that point needs to be going down there, so like that. That's how that's looking. And then you'll go do the same on the other side. Simply push those 2 pins in. They are tight bits, so I've not glued those in, but that's how that's looking so far at the end of step 3. So let's keep on moving. So now what we've got to do, guys, is apply these circuits into these 2 holes here. So yeah, that's one in, and then we're going to put the other one next to it, to the side. There we go, nice and tight. And I might apply a little bit of glue to that in a sec, because that keeps dropping off. That's why you're always told in the instructions to apply a little bit of glue to these pieces, these add-ons, guys, because they do keep falling off. And that's just why you're building, you don't fall off when the model's built. So that takes us to the end of step 4. Let's crack on and go to step 5. Okay, for step 5, we want to take the head, turn it around, and we're going to be applying this mouthpiece here. So, well, the mouth protector it's called. What you want to do, pop that just in there like so. Let me just check I've got that right. There you go. You want it that way around then, guys. So you've got that rough finish there. You want to turn it that way, and then what you got to do is apply A screws. Yeah, and then screw those 2 A screws in, and then you've secured that mouth protector too. Also, that's how that's looking at the end of step 5. Pretty cool. Now we're going to move on to step 6. Move that to one side a sec. Now what we need to do is take this piece, and this is plastic by the way, guys. This is the internal mouth protector. Now how we want to do this is pop that, making sure you're getting this the right way, on there like that, and that's it. We're going to take an A screw again and screw that into that hole just there. Screw that in nice and tight. There we go. And then that is securing the internal mouth protector, and that's what that looks like at the end of step 6. Pretty cool. Let's crack on, guys, and go on to the next step. Okay, so the last step of this video, guys, we are now applying these foam pieces inside to this piece here. So what we're going to do is peel the sticky back off, and I don't know if you can see on camera, there's basically like outline where these pieces go, so it's pretty cool and self-explanatory where they've got to go. So if I just put that there like that, and when you're happy, obviously push that onto the piece, and it should all go into the place where you need it. That's how that looks. And then we need this little, looks like a moustache, a funny moustache you might be saying, but yeah, it does look like a bit of a moustache, I think, or moustache, however you want to say it. So we'll just peel this backing off, and again apply that to this middle piece of the neck, I think this is. And when you're happy, push down on it, There you go, that's how that's looking. Pretty cool. And last but not least, this last piece of foam. Yeah, it's the neck this is. I thought it was. I just double checked on the instructions as I was peeling that off. And again, make sure you got it in the right position before you stick it on, guys, because this stuff does not come off once it's in and on the piece. But you won't want it to. But yeah, very sticky, very cool. I would have thought this is going to make the breathing not so echoey, if that makes sense. But there you go, guys. That is all done now. These foam pieces are put in the neck. And we've also got the head here, the circuits, and some of the mouthpieces fitted. And also we've put the centerpiece around the center of the head. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Come back next week for another Darth Vader. See you soon. Take care. That is it for this week, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. Remember to give us a big like if you did. If you didn't, still give us a big like. And of course, subscribe for more. You'll always get notified every time I put something up on the channel, whether it's Star Wars Darth Vader or the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra, James Bond DB5, Dom's Charger. Loads going on, guys. So yeah, remember to click that subscribe button, press the bell notification. You'll always be notified whenever I put something up on the channel. Today was a pretty cool issue. We've done part 2 of building the helmet. So yeah, it's taking shape now. We're putting like a few details on it, etc. Looking forward to this build, guys. And again, I've said it before, I'm going to try and be more consistent, put more models up on the channel. If I just show you this before we go, that is my next batch of videos. There's about 5 or 6 builds there, guys. At the minute, I think I've got 6 builds going on. So that's a full week's worth. And if I do other things on the channel as well, with the short, the Elvis short, etc. And also, guys, I might have another build coming to the channel. And that's it. I'm going to stop there for now, because 7 is plenty to be getting on with. But anyway, for now, that is it, guys. See you next time. See ya. Peace.